Phil, Swissnode, Seba Bank, Switzerland.
The origin of tequila goes back to the Aztecs, who for thousands of years made pulque, a fermented drink from the agave plant. Myths speak of a lightning strike that split open an agave plant, boiled the agave juice and released the plant, the elixir of the gods. Is this the reason why you love tequila that much?
No.
Are you a fish and chips lover?
Yes.
Cities like Zermatt, Kyasshu and also the canton of Zug are accepting tax payments in Bitcoin. Do you pay your taxes in Bitcoin?
No.
Are you a professional yodeler?
Surprisingly, no.
Romansh is one of the descendants languages of the spoken Latin language of the Roman Empire. It has been recognized as a national language of Switzerland since 1938, along with German, French, and Italian. Do you speak all these languages?
Not all, no.
Will England play the final in the World Cup 2022 in Qatar?
Yes.
Have you ever been up of the Dufourspitze?
No.
Do you wear sunglasses at night?
I have been known to, yes.
In 2013, Ed Curry developed a pepper measuring over 2 million Scoville head units. Despite the extremely scorching heat of this super hot pepper, the Carolina Reaper is surprisingly fruity and sweet. Is this your favorite one?
Yeah, yes.
Are you Satoshi Nakamoto?
No.
Welcome to the Connected World Weekly Podcast. I'm Edward.
And I'm Steph. We are ready to take you with us into the beautiful world of the Lightning Network.
Enjoy the ride. This is episode 9 of Connected World. And this week we welcome Philip Sheppard as our guest to join us. And well, Steph, how are you doing?
Yeah,
this week?
I'm fine, Edward. And I think it's time to reveal your little secret, right?
my secret?
Yeah, because I think you are a professional yodeler. Because Philip isn't, but I'm pretty sure you are, right?
Well, I can sing a little, but yodeling, I never done that. No.
Do you want to demonstrate? Do you want to demonstrate one of your songs to our listeners?
I no. I think everybody will shut down their telephone or their yeah.
Great, man.
And what did you do with your background, dude?
Yeah, well, I'm in my wife's tattoo studio, and she
and she's working behind the wall.
No. Yeah, she's working on a big lightning tattoo on my back, but no, she bought some new furniture, so. Yeah, I had to make some slight adjustments to my scenery, but
it looks awesome. You can do a lot of things with it, and I see a red thing there, like a plant or something.
Thing. yeah, of course. Yeah, I will make some
nice.
adjustments, of course, and maybe some nice posters or Bitcoin related
awesome.
stuff. I need to have a little talk with my wife what's possible over here, because she's the boss at home. It's everywhere. We pretend it's the other way around, but
yeah,
it's everywhere the same, I think. Hey, but awesome. Nice guest, Philip Sheppard.
Yeah,
we
already
met him, of course, and.
Yeah,
really enthusiastic guy, and
a lot of energy.
A lot of energy, but also working on some cool stuff with Seba and of course Swissnode.
And some things the same as ours. So it's great because he has also a community of all
on Telegram
and
I'm looking forward to that chat. And but first we have to talk a little bit about the statistics of the Lightning Network, Edward, as always, and about our Rings of Fire community. And then the second part will with Phil. So have fun.
Have fun, guys.
Connect the world.
So last week we added 40 million sets, and this week it is an extra 12 million. So we are still a bit above the 20 Bitcoin in total. And we did that with around 684 members participating in over 89 rings.
89 already.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the Lightning Network as a whole, we always look into that. And also we want to emphasize, because the network capacity, we always say the network capacity, it's now 3,355 Bitcoin in the network. And well, we want to emphasize that it's the network capacity for nodes who are visible, and also nodes which are behind Tor. So that's good to know. And well, there are 174 nodes more than last week, but it's a lot, more than 19,000. So
and it's still climbing up, right? Still increase every week. So
just like in our Rings of Fire. So great.
Yeah. Hey, and today the value of 1 million satoshis is $360, 370 euros, and 2,289 for 81 Chinese yuan.
That's it, right?
Conecta el mundo.
And for the news of this week. Well, a couple of things. It was a busy week. L-Node Insights from Small World told us that it's possible to build your own charge for any Amboss community on the website, or filter for nodes that are a member of one of the Channel Simulator app. That's very interesting. I always like the site to simulate also what happens if you open some channels to a particular node, and that's interesting to check out. But this is great, another community effort for comparing data, and I really like that feature. And then Rio de Janeiro, one of the largest cities in Brazil, are launching Crypto Rio. And are going to invest 1% of the treasury in cryptocurrency. And they're also following Miami and Switzerland, and are planning to establish tax incentives and discounts for paying with Bitcoin. Our guest Philip isn't using that, he said just now.
No. I think he wants to keep as many Bitcoin as possible and don't want to spend it. But
a real hodler.
There will be a time that he has to. So
Interesting.
And I hope that Rio de Janeiro, because you said they are going to invest 1% of the treasury in cryptocurrency, but I hope the majority will be in Bitcoin, right?
I hope so, yeah.
If there are some clever people over there, I think they will.
It's interesting that these things happen now. So that's it's a nice topic. Rusoft has made some changes to the Igniter script, and we use the script. You use it a lot to balance the Rings of Fire, and the script and configuration are now separate. So you have the config file and the script file. So you only need to change the igniter.conf file. So that's pretty easy. And Jury made all necessary changes to the Ring of Fire or Ring to bot. So that's nice.
Because we wanted to balance a ring, and then we suddenly had all these strange errors. And, and then, of course, I knocked on Jury's door and asked him to help. And he saw that there was an update of the script. So we kindly asked everyone who was balancing all these rings at that time to update that script and using the new workflow. Yeah. And of course, Jury. Well, it is Jury, of course. So he already updated the ring tool bot. It was, I think, it was an hour after we found out that he already implemented it in his bot. So great job. And
the Igniter script. Well, we use it a lot. It's so because so awesome.
I saw that Rusov was joining our community. Mm-hmm. So hi, man. Awesome to have you with
Welcome
us.
to have you. Yeah, you're right.
And I told him that we use his script. I think we've used it now. Well, for now, I just told 81 rings now. Yeah. So and he was like, "Whoa, you're kidding me?" And that's nice. So. He wasn't aware of that, so he was a bit surprised that we used it that many times.
Yeah, that's right. He wasn't aware of it. I always like it that the tools that are made and used. We really like to use it, and it really helps. And it's great to actually tell a person that it's it made our Rings of Fire life easier.
Yeah.
And he also said that he's working on a new project called Steer. It's read-only at the moment on GitHub, so you can check it out, the link in the show notes. It's a script to find the edges of the Lightning Network. And he said it was really interesting for us because with your node, you can get yourself connected with people much further than yourself. And he's always open to talk with people who, which have more ideas about this topic. So check it out and get in contact with him if you like to talk about it.
Yeah, you can just reach to him within our group because he wants some feedback also, and that's what he wanted to ask us. And I think it's great, man. I mean, well, of course, within our community, opening all these rings. Yeah, you see that the graph is it's like a big ball of spaghetti now. But I think it's also very interesting to find out which nodes are on the other side of the Lightning Network, so you can make sure that you help the network because if you're opening a channel to that nodes. You really help to build a better distribution. So I think it's very interesting, and I think maybe we can have a talk with him, and maybe he can implement it in our workflow. I think it's it's
maybe
great.
we can dive deeper into it then. Well, we have to wait about that, but it's very interesting, right? And Jack Mallers of Strike, in September last year, he announced the launch of the Strike API. And now they've widened the access to the Creators API, therefore inviting more developers. So that's also nice. You can check the URL link in the show notes to check that API out. And the last thing, Coldcard, I always like it. They released, they have a pre-sales of the MK4 NFC. And I read a lot about that NFC option because the new Coldcard has NFC tap for all data types, so PSBT, address, and that kind of things. And also faster processor, USB-C connector, unlimited memory. They say no Bitcoin transaction size restrictions. That's also nice. Cool. So you can also check it out in the show notes. It's just because we like it and not because it's sponsored or something. No. Well, that was it.
For the news.
Yes.
Yeah, and now let's have a look at the rings forecast because we have a few spots left at some rings. We have the 500K 25 ring, we have only one spot left. And the 1 million 24th ring, we have 2 spots left. The 2 million 14th ring, we have 5 spots left. And the 3 million Satoshis 10th ring, we have 3 spots left. And I saw just before the recording that we filled the group for the 5 million Satoshis 10th ring. So
nice.
Please keep an eye on your DM because the invitations will be sent out as ASAP.
Awesome.
Yep. And then some anecdotes because it was not that busy as normally, but it's no problem. Of course, we had some rest. I think Jonī also nice. Enjoyed his rest. Yeah, we balanced only 2 rings, but I mean, it are 2 rings at least. I mean, it's better than nothing. We had the 2 million Satoshis 13th ring. We had node operators from Germany, Canada, Holland and USA, and we see that quite a lot these days, that Canada and USA are well represented, and also the German node operators are joining these rings. We had some fun this Sunday evening because Mart Telegram balanced the 2 million Satoshis 13th ring. He showed us he was well experienced with SSH and ran everything smoothly. There were some fees we had to pay for the transaction since the gossip didn't play out well, but the participants paid them back. So really teamwork. And then we had the 500K 24th ring. We had node owners from Italy, Great Britain, USA, South Africa, and Holland. Always nice to see new people joining our community. In the 24th 500K ring, we had a nice group with people from 5 different countries. While ringleader Citizen 68 was preparing, even in 500K, sometimes some routing occurs even when the fees are high. Yeah, we had someone who had, it was very strange because he routed 250K. So his channel was already balanced actually. And he had, I think, a base fee of 3,000 and a fee rate of 5,000. So he earned a lot of satoshis for that routing.
So he had defensive fees.
Yeah, we had defensive fees. So that was, but I think...
Was he well connected?
Yeah, it was Kaas Payland, and he's participating in a lot of rings and also all kinds of liquidity. So I think he is making a way of being a good routing node. So that was unfortunate, but we decided to just balance the ring, and then he uses all kinds of scripts to get the channels balanced again. So he will now balance them afterwards. So. With people from so many different countries, it was quite a challenge to fix. But in the end, the group managed to balance with a bit less than half of the capacity. Well done, Citizen 68. Excellent job.
Awesome. And it's also right that you don't need to have it exactly 50-50.
No,
so,
exactly. So we ended up with nicely balanced rings. I think, we are satisfied.
All right, thanks. Well, friend of mine said in the UK they have a phrase, Bob's your uncle, and that means there you have it. So thanks, Ted. Let's go to the lightning notes. Right.
That's one.
Connect the world.
Make sure to secure your home network. So change default passwords and use two-factor authentication where possible. And keep your software up to date. It's also very important. Please keep in mind that the whole Lightning network is very experimental. Software like MyNode, Umbrel, Raspberry Blitz, for example, and many others, and LND also, are still in beta phase. Don't blindly run terminal commands on your node if you don't understand them yourself, and especially when prefixed with sudo. And the last one is also very important. Don't use satoshis that you're not willing to lose. So if you're not aware of all security considerations, then read into it. Educate yourself, read articles, ask for help in Telegram groups with high reputation like ours, and listen to podcasts and learn by doing. Otherwise, don't participate.
Also, you can stay informed by following us on Twitter. You can find us at Satoshi Radio ROF. And follow our Lightning leader, Jonī Kyasshu. Join our Telegram groups, Satoshi Radio, Ring of Fire, and Connect the World. And check our website, satoshi.radio. It would be nice for you to be part of our Amboss community. You can find us there on Satoshi Radio. And like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Use Podcasting 2.0 to listen to Connect the World. And you can check SATA trading for the current value. You can find all this information, of course, also in the show notes as well.
All right, let's get on to the show.
Соединим этот мир.
All right, thanks for being here. We're excited to have you in the podcast, Phil. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
Nice to meet you, Phil.
Nice to meet you both.
We heard that you're corona positive. I don't know if you're okay, but you look okay. So
yeah, no, it's fine.
Yeah,
haven't had anything all week. I just can't move.
Oh, you can't move. So you're all you're sitting in your chair all the day.
yeah. I'm quarantined here and just having fun. Making a node, the things people do.
The things, the things that people should do, right?
That's awesome. These are the things that you could do at home and still have fun. So
exactly.
You've never been on the top of the Dufourspitze. It's the biggest mountain in Switzerland, right? The high.
Yeah, no, I've still got a few things to do. A few.
I saw challenges. You thinking, and I thought, I don't know.
Well, I was like, did I travel there? But no,
not yet.
Not yet.
Cool, man.
And tequila? You're not a tequila guy.
I am a tequila guy, but I would only drink the real stuff in Mexico. I don't know if you've ever been.
Yeah, I've been there.
Oh, it's way better, right? It's like whiskey down there. Here, the tequila you get in Europe is it's just for sucking salt and lemon off.
Yeah, actually, I was in Mexico a couple of years ago, and I didn't even wanted the salt and lime juice, right? Or it's
exactly
like this,
exactly
lemon juice it is, but
Yeah,
I drank. It was the Don Julio Reposado or something. It was the brown bottle, and
exactly something.
I drank it after each meal. I mean, not after breakfast, of course, but after lunch and after dinner.
Come on, you can admit it to us.
I think I have a problem with my wife if I tell you.
Well, now I remember the guy in the Rings of Fire that had the bottles with the Bitcoin bottles of tequila, and Steph was jumping on it. I want them all.
Yeah, but the cost of shipping were so high. I think the cost of shipping were twice as much as the cost of the tequila itself. So.
Oh wow!
It didn't make sense to bring them here, but it was fun.
Yeah.
It was worth a try. I mean,
of course.
Yeah.
So I think we have to go there, and then
we should.
Yeah. I'm up for it.
Cool.
All right.
Hey, on to the more serious thing, Phil, because the tagline on your Twitter account says "Changing the world a node at a time. Join me in the revolution." What of Bitcoin is so compelling to you?
It's the fact it's permissionless. The fact that everyone can get on the bandwagon. You know, we can really bank the unbanked. It's unstoppable. That's good as well. But it's really giving the equal opportunity to everyone in the world. So, you know, I'm in Switzerland. We have great privilege.
Yeah.
Our Apex fiat currency is great, but it would be nice if we can use that privilege to free the world from bad money. Yeah,
you call it a revolution because it is, right?
Yeah.
And it sounds like you're very activist. So you're really
for sure. I'm like anything I can do to advance the cause, you know.
Awesome.
So I put my node online all those years ago, and just trying to help the Lightning Network and Bitcoin become the major currency.
Cool. We're all in the same boat again.
Changing the world, connecting the world. So
exactly.
Cool. Hey guys,
nice.
We have all these questions for you, Phil. But it has to be in the 21 minutes, of course. So let's kick off that part. Are you ready for the 21 minutes, guys?
I am. Let's do this.
Cool.
Awesome. Let's go then.
Connecter le monde.
All right. You work for the crypto bank Seba. What services do you provide?
So there's basic exchanging. So fiat to have to say crypto. I know people will prefer only Bitcoin, but we do offer others. So you can we have segregated accounts as well. So you can store your Bitcoin in Seba, which to me sounded weird at first, right? So why would any Bitcoiner want to store their Bitcoin in a bank? But when you look at it, when you get away from private people, like corporations do actually want a third party, right, to store Bitcoin. And it's pretty safe as well. It's segregated. If Seba were to go tomorrow, you'd just get sent back the Bitcoin that you had in there.
Because you still have like part of the key, or?
You don't have the key yourself. You just have access to it as an account. But any moment you want, you can withdraw it to a private wallet, and then it's out there on the on the blockchain, and it's yours. We also, and there's staking as well, and we're going in a lot of different directions at the same time. It's quite fun there.
Yeah,
cool. And can you also trade with what you've staked there, or?
You can trade. I don't do it myself, so personally I haven't used it. I'm just very simple. I'm a hodler, so whenever I can, the fiat gets changed to Bitcoin, and I'll keep it in the bank, and then every now and again I'll go, well, let's make this a little bit safer and put it on a private wallet somewhere else.
Cool. Yeah, cool, somewhere else. And but is Seba then, is it like the first official bank? You also are licensed, I guess? I mean... Yeah,
so it was about 2 or 3 years ago. I wasn't working from them back then, but there were 2 banks which were given FINMA licenses. So FINMA's our regulator. I think they decided to do that so that there was a bit of competition on the market and not one bank monopolizing. And within 1 year, they managed to get the certification needed to the license. So that was incredible. I wasn't there for that part of it. I then came came into the company later. I'm kind of head of testing there, and we just had a seeding fund round. So seed C, we've got 110 million Swiss francs.
Cool.
So our investors kind of like what we're offering, and yeah, great company to work for. Kind of still startup.
Yeah, cool.
Well.
And that's why all these things at the same time are playing in the background. I think that's what a startup is dealing with also, of course.
Yeah. I think a lot of businesses nowadays within this branch are startups or in some way.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Hey, and you, as you said, you're the head of testing at Seba. What are you working on at the moment?
A lot of it is actually more boring than you'd think. So yeah, we do have new products coming along, and they need to get tested. So we have we have internal software, kind of a crypto layer software which we write ourselves on top of like legacy banking. Our legacy banking, we have a third-party bank which every now and again they update their software, so legacy software, and I have to just make sure that that's not going to crash when we go live. So a lot of it is repetitive, right?
Cool.
So I've got my test suite, and I just make sure that every time we go live that we're doing some regression testing, any new features get tested. So the same kind of thing. I guess my job is kind of what I've been doing before in other non-Bitcoin companies. It just has that aspect that some of the things I test are quite interesting, like crypto layer, and we've got blockchain engineers, and the blockchain engineers have to write tests, and I have to tell them how to write good tests, how to execute them, etc., etc.
And now you're also experimenting with building a node, will Seba have his own node then in the near future? Or?
We're pushing. There's 2 guys in the company, and we're like, when lightning? And it's going to happen. I don't know when. So probably not this year. Maybe towards the end. We're pushing for it because it's not necessary yet. You can still withdraw to on-chain, but we're kind of pushing. We're saying, hey, come on, let's be leaders and allow this. Of course, it's not as easy as just a normal startup, right? We have FINMA in the background, and we have to make sure that anything we do is kind of legal.
That's important. We have that in the Netherlands also. Yeah. And if you should give your prediction about when Bitcoin related parties acquire big banks, what would your prediction be then?
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, will they want to acquire big banks or not? Yeah, I think that one's an unknown. It's definitely going to be possible. I personally think it's easier to build a bank from the ground up than it is to acquire something that is steeped in legacy. And I see that at work. Anything that's been built that's 20 years old, 20 years old in computing terms is like prehistoric. Yeah. And it's really hard to integrate that stuff. If you build the bank from the ground up, even legacy banking you can do with smart contracts, and there are technologies out there. So I think the smart bank will do the legacy banking, but in a new way as well.
Yeah, I think it's difficult to change a culture instead of building it up from ground, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And that gives the smart banks, the Bitcoin-related banks, then an advantage, of course.
Big head start.
Yeah, because they're absolutely more adequate to do something with it.
And there are problems that you have to overcome, which you wouldn't even think are problems, right? Just the fact that Bitcoin is 8 decimal places. Trust me, that's not the easiest thing for legacy banks to manage. So
that's interesting.
I won't go into the technical details, but when I heard about that, I was like, really?
and also, you're leading an initiative to start a referendum to force the Swiss National Bank to HODL Bitcoin itself. How do you want to pull this off?
Activism again.
Well, exactly. This is my kind of in my nature to want to change the world. It wasn't my idea. It was this guy from Geneva who's not just a maximalist, and he put it out there. Everyone was like, "Yeah, let's do this." And then suddenly he got a bit of heat for being not a maximalist. I think he liked a bit of Ethereum on the side.
Oh.
Naughty. And I was quite loud in the group. I was like asking questions all the time. When are we doing this? And he said, "I'm handing it over to you." Made me admin of the group, and since then it's kind of on the back burner. it's hard to get the momentum to start it. But Switzerland, I don't know if you know how it works. If you get 100,000 votes, you can force a referendum at the national level. So what we're trying to do is work out what is the best timing and strategy to get 100,000 people to say yes to this idea of the SNB HODLing Bitcoin. And we've kept it as simple as possible. It's like you just to add 2 words into a clause in the referendum. It's like, already it says the SNB should hold gold. That's already in Article 99. And we would just add and Bitcoin to that sentence. That's the only thing.
Easy. So 2 words and Bitcoin. And then
so no stipulation how much. No, the simpler you make it, the easier people can say yes or no, understand it. And then you've got to provide good argumentation, the whole energy FUD. There's a lot of FUD out there which you're going to have to go out into the streets and defend. So interesting project.
Cool, man.
And if you look at adoption of Bitcoin in Switzerland, do you know a lot of merchants that accept Bitcoin or Lightning?
You won't accidentally find them, but because I'm in a lot of local Telegram groups, especially cantonal, we're very decentralized as a country, right? And I've been speaking to some of them, both in the French area and the Germans, and they've been telling me it's taken off recently. There are 5 new shops in Basel. There are so many in Zurich. But you have to kind of know at the moment. You won't accidentally bump into a shop that randomly sells stuff on Lightning. But it's slowly but surely being pushed by all these enthusiasts who are keen to get it going, which is a surprise because we have the apex fiat currency. People could just go, we don't give a shit about Bitcoin, but it seems that everyone does love Bitcoin. It's a very Swiss thing to have personal bank accounts, numbered bank accounts. And what is the blockchain if it's not just a list of numbered bank accounts?
Awesome.
And what will be your solution for easily paying back customers after a bad bargain? I mean, you're working at a bank, and Bitcoin isn't that stable at the moment. The price of Bitcoin, of course. What?
Yeah, that's a bit of a problem. And to be honest, I don't have the solution for that. I sort of saw the answer perhaps using smart contracts for finalizing transactions. But yeah, that needs answering, and I don't really have the answer to that one. Yeah.
And when is it possible, you think, to buy everything you need for daily life with Bitcoin or Lightning in Switzerland?
In Switzerland, ooh.
So just like, thinking out of the box.
Yeah. Okay, I think we will get there one day. But as I say, because we have this currency that is really good, we won't be the first country. And I think if you ask Bitcoiners here, they know that that's the case. Deep down, they know El Salvador, Turkey, all these countries knocking on Bitcoin's door. They're much more likely to want it because it's life or death. If you listen to Andreas Antonopoulos,
Argentina and
it's like that's where it's all happening. Jack Mallers has realized it too. Pushing it in these new countries. One day, I think we could get there, and the Swiss love innovation. They love tech. They love decentralized. They love secret bank accounts. It's kind of in the DNA of the Swiss man, but the necessity is not there. One day we'll be there, but other countries will beat us, I think.
Cool. and when we talk about the adoption of the Lightning Network, what influence does HODLing have compared to spending sets? We had Alex Borsworth in our show last week, and we asked him what was the most special thing you bought with Lightning, and he said, I haven't bought something. I only buy liquidity. What will be the influence if you compare those two?
I think this is a major difference in Bitcoin becoming maybe a 500K asset or it becoming multi-million is what we call the circular economy. So once you're demanding your salary in Bitcoin, you're going about your daily life in Bitcoin, that is when it really goes exponential. At the moment, we're going through kind of narrative, aren't we? It's a store of value, and that's fine, and we're still going up in value slowly this year, it seems. And but yeah, the circular economy for me is everything, which means Lightning, which means any chance we get to push the Lightning narrative can only help the Bitcoin narrative as well, for sure.
Yeah. And I thought there was, I don't know what it was, but in Switzerland there was some payment service provider that was releasing Bitcoin and Lightning to all merchants. I was thinking about it when you said it, but perhaps it will speed up someday to get more merchants attached.
Yeah. And the exchanges, if you talk to the Swiss exchanges, because we've got quite a nice rule here, it's the 1,000 franc KYC rule. So anything under 1,000 francs a day, you can do with no KYC, which is quite cool. So there's a company I know the CEO of, really, really cool guy, relay.ch, and they are on the verge of bringing out Lightning withdrawals, which will be
awesome.
Which will be really good. Yeah.
And there's an assessment tool that described you as being a campaigner. So that's your personality.
We can tell.
Yeah.
I saw it. It's great because it talks about 16 personalities and you're a diplomat.
Did you try it as well? Did you try it?
No, I wanted to try it.
I want to know what you are now. I want to know what you guys are.
Because I thought, well, maybe I'm also a diplomat. I will do it, and then I get back to you. I really like it. But this said that it means that you're a free, true spirit, outgoing and open-minded. And we were thinking, does this help you in uniting Bitcoiners and creating more adoption for Lightning also in Switzerland?
Yeah, for sure it does. So Switzerland is interesting because it's decentralized. As I said, the cantons make up their own rules more or less. And what you'll find is that the German cantons have no idea that the French cantons even exist. They have no idea what the Bitcoiners here don't know what the Bitcoiners there are doing. And I've kind of seen this as a problem and taken it upon myself now to try and unite all these different Bitcoin clans in the different regions of Switzerland. So I think there's a lot of space in the Bitcoin world for such campaigning to go on, to really bring people together. Yeah. Because until now, the narrative has been, get the tech working, and we had more introverted characters who really were amazing. Satoshi was probably not a campaigner, I'm guessing.
No, he was more in the background.
He will have had some other characteristics. And now I think we've got to the point where adoption needs organization, and you guys are doing it as well with your Connect the World channels. Just getting normal plebs together, and that's the way Bitcoin will take over the world, right? One node at a time.
Yeah. When it's the time, indeed. And what is the most Bitcoin and Lightning friendly country in Europe? Then you're talking about Swiss, but we also have, for instance, Portugal.
I put Switzerland and Portugal on that list, and it's a difficult question to answer because you don't travel in so many other countries and know really how friendly they are. But when it comes to capital gains, right, Switzerland has no capital gains, which means any Bitcoin you exchange to Bitcoin, you're not going to get taxed anything if it does a times 10. So, you don't have to hide your Bitcoin really, which is ironic because it's very good at hiding. Yeah. Portugal's the same. They have no capital gains.
Yep.
The Eurozone will be interesting, right? Because I guess it will be the Eurozone that determines how tight the regulations are, and that's what's going to help or hinder Bitcoin. It won't kill it, but it will be how friendly the regulations come out to, and then it will be in currency zones. So the Eurozone and the ECB, if they come out and they, try and ban it, that's going to be tricky. So I still stick with Switzerland and Portugal as the most friendly ones.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, Holland is also.
So we have to go to Switzerland.
We have to go to Switzerland, that's for sure.
Yeah, you do. I've convinced some friends, like in my Telegram group, to actually set up companies here, and
also,
they're
to
doing that as well.
To get us over, to help us move, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Migration.
But I think I mean, Holland is also friendly in a way that we have two episodes ago we had Patrick from Bitkassa. It's a Dutch-based company. They help all these merchants to accept Bitcoin. I mean, I paid at a couple of shops for my food with Bitcoin or for my beer. So I think it's also it's friendly for the user side, but not from the regulatory side. But
yeah, that's what I've heard as well. Like they're pretty harsh in Holland, trying to clamp down on what you can't really stop, right?
Yeah.
Trying to stop something unstoppable. And again, I think this campaigning thing will be key. So I don't know if you know this, but back in the day, Estonia, there was this one guy in Estonia. He went round all the petrol stations and convinced one by one, every petrol garage station, so that's gas in the States, if anyone in the States is watching, and he said, we need free Wi-Fi. We need free Wi-Fi everywhere. And so Estonia actually was the first country in Europe to beat all the Western countries to having Wi-Fi everywhere. And I think they now have an e-government as well. So you can actually get everything online. You can do everything online. And that was just one guy who said, I have to make it my life's mission to make this happen. And he did it. He went round kind of convincing everyone to just use it. So you get campaigners doing that in Holland. And I guess you could, because you guys are really, really into it. There's a lot of groups with just Dutch people in it.
Yeah. I mean, we are enthusiastic, right? And yeah, we have a big history if it is about building the future of something. And I think we are just the enthusiasts we are. And but talking about our group, you also created the Lightning Liquidity and Pool Telegram group. Can you a campaigner you are, of course, but can you tell us why you started it?
So this was the thing. I got my node up really quickly, and I was like, I'm going to open channels everywhere, right? And I opened a few, and then you soon notice, it's all like outgoing capacity and nothing's inbound, right? And I couldn't work out why is this not default like balanced channels? Why don't we open channels that are balanced? So I just said, well, I'll get 10 people together, right? So I created the group, and before I knew it, 10 were 50 and 50 were 100. Everyone wanted to open balanced channels, right? And it was very manual, right? And it was trustworthy. We even had a little kind of reputation system in there. It wasn't even on a bot. It was like you just had to hashtag someone saying, I did a balance open balance with him, and he didn't run away with the money. and eventually this caught on. And it just ballooned from there. So we're now on 520 users. I have an interesting way to make it high quality. So I have a paywall. Yeah. And the paywall increases in value every 50 members. The price to get in is 30% higher. So we call
it thirding, right?
We call it a thirding to kind of make a joke on the halvings. And back in the day when we were like 200, 250 users, these were big events. It's like, we need 2 more people, and a thirding is happening, and then someone would come in and the next guy would have to pay 30% more.
Nice.
And so it gets the signal to noise ratio is way higher. Because it's kind of proof of quality in a way. It's like if you're willing to pay half a beer to get in at the moment, so it's not the end of the world. Generally, the actors in there are all really keen to make stuff happen. Scammers are kept out, and talk is cheap. So if you pay nothing to get into a group, well, some people will just talk about anything and nothing and disturb the rest.
It's more serious now.
If you pay it, Stella Artois back in the day used to say reassuringly expensive beer.
Yeah. Cool.
And I hear the ticking noise. If there are more custodial solutions for Lightning in the future, do you think the social aspect of Lightning will completely disappear? Like we have it now in the Telegram group also?
It will go down a bit, but I think there'll always be a place to have non-custodial solutions in there. I think people or communities like villages will have a node. And so I don't think we'll totally lose that.
Cool. Hey, we're almost done, but I have one question I really want to answer, because we talked a bit about in the when we met. What was your biggest problem encountered when you're starting with your first Lightning node?
That's for everyone. It's nice to hear. Beginners and
we can learn from it, right?
Of course.
Yeah. So. Okay, this is going to take probably another minute, but this is worth it. So there I have my node. I had 1/3 of a Bitcoin of capacity of my own Bitcoin on it. And one day I just turn it off without issuing a command. I just turn it off manually, and it was a manual HDD hard disk, and it corrupted the disk. I was like, oh no! And so I asked around in my group, right? And there was one guy who was super helpful. He said, "Yeah, I'll come on." And I gave him a kind of key to get into the node, And he fixed it, and I was like, "Oh, thanks, man." He was really cool. A month later, my node crashed. I say crashed. It just like the hard disk was wiped clean, and I thought it had crashed. And I wondered what had happened. And a great guy called Oliver Guger, actually, he's in Switzerland, works for Lightning Labs. I said, I think I've been hacked, but I can't prove it. He said, tell me a bit of, show me your channels. And he went on, he said, I've done some on-chain analysis. It's been coin joined. Like, you've been hacked. I was like, no way. So I've racked my brain. I was like, what, who? And I said, okay. And I went back to the guy, I said, you're really friendly and all, but my logic tells me you stole it. Yeah. And he went, no, I promise you. And then he said, hang on, let me get back to you. Came back in the evening. Turns out his cousin, who he had done the work on my node to repair it on his cousin's laptop. His cousin had found the key, and he had just downloaded all the Bitcoin and had erased the hard drive trying to cover his tracks. And thank God it was his cousin. Like he actually messaged me that evening. He said, I'm really sorry, dude. I won't do this again. And he gave me 1 million Satoshis more than he stole. Oh, and they were clean. Awesome. And they were coin joined, right? So I was like, okay. Fresh
Satoshis. Oh man. But not your keys, not your computer.
Yeah, that's what you said? Not your keys, not your computer. People.
Exactly. Red flag.
I learned it the easy way, right? I earned money to learn that lesson. Of course. But never give your keys. Not your keys, not your coins. Not your keys, not your coins. Cool. Like Andreas Anastonopoulos had a video where to keep on saying that.
And you had another problem with your notes, I think today or something?
Oh, yeah. So when you have an LND node, there is this one file called channels.db. If it gets over a certain size, your node stops working. And if you're on a 32-bit Raspberry Pi architecture like I was, at some point it inflates to that size and your node goes down. And this happened like 4 days ago. I had thought a month ago I could fix it, and I had ordered the hardware, but it's taking forever with supply chain issues. And so this week I have rebuilt my node. In fact, it finished while we were speaking now. It's downloaded the blockchain. So Swissnode is coming back online in all
show it. You can show
it, right? Yeah,
here it is.
Have it
here it is.
Awesome. This is it. For all viewers on YouTube and Bitcoin TV.
Yeah, man, it's quite sexy. There's the
it looks great.
There's the SATA drive, and that's the blue light of freedom, right? Yeah. Every time it flashes, I know something's happening on the blockchain. So
awesome.
Yeah,
really awesome.
It's good. So after this show, I'm bringing it back up.
Awesome.
In 64-bit glory.
Sorry, Phil, that we failed to get the answers to all other questions because we had really a lot. So I think, Steph,
we already had 2 bonus questions, and I think if we keep send those questions to Phil, our producers will go wild. So we have to finish now.
I think you're right.
Okay, all right. It's been a total pleasure, and
awesome.
I guess I can always come back to answer the questions we didn't answer.
You're most welcome.
We have still one for you from
Conectar el mundo.
We have still one for you.
Okay, let's go for it.
Exactly. Well, Steph, last week we had Alex Bosworth from Lightning Labs, and he asked a question for you, Phil. I'm gonna put it on, and then you can answer it.
Okay.
Let's have a look.
So my question to Philip, and knowing his interests, maybe I would say no. Aside from RGB, what can we do to most help improve the utility of Bitcoin and Lightning? What actions can we take?
It's a trick question.
It's a trick question. And the funny thing is he plugged RGB by accident. Everyone's watching. What is RGB? So this actually is the reason why we exist. So I'm going to say something that should kill us in a way. Is like, I think one of the most useful things that could happen is that all the implementations of Lightning should be able to open channels in a balanced way. And funnily enough, one of Alex's tools called Balance of Satoshis has this as a manual workaround. You can go boss open balance channel, and you start setting up signed transactions, and then you have to send it to the other person. It comes back. If that were part of the base implementation of any node, I think that would help a lot to make the network balanced from the go-get, right? Mm-hmm. We wouldn't then have to open Rings of Fire or join my amazing group or whatever, Mm-hmm. It's, that is the one thing I wish the implementations could change. So
So
yeah.
we will
balance channels as default, right?
We will send that request to Alex so he can work on it.
Yeah, I told him, but I didn't tell him the answer. I said, you got to watch the show to get the answer now, Alex.
Exactly. And get back to work.
Yeah. Now you know what you got to do. Yeah, no. So.
Nice. All right.
Yeah, cool.
Well, next week we have Tom Chojnacki as our guest, and he's from Satsback. And we want to ask you a question for him. Do you have a question for him?
I do have a question for him. If you could orange pill any celebrity no-coiner, who would it be?
So anyone in the world, right?
Anyone. Or I guess the who could you orange pill to best change the Bitcoin world? Which one no coiner would do the best good in the world by orange pilling? I guess that's an even better version of that question.
Peter Schiff.
Great question.
Peter Schiff, maybe.
Well, we have to wait for 1 week, so we're very curious. Let's wait for it, and then I'm.
Connect o mundo.
Well, thank you, Phil, for being here with us. We had a blast, I think.
No, it has been fun. You guys are great, and I'm loving your podcasts.
Yeah, thank you.
It's
man.
nice that
we like your enthusiasm. I mean, we're both enthusiastic also, but I think.
Well, you promised you're now coming over to Switzerland, right? If I understood that right.
Of course, And to everyone who's listening, well, get in the group because Phil is there and he's answering all your questions all day long. Great. Yeah.
And I think I have to convince my wife to move over, but
just show her the Swiss salaries.
That's maybe a good one. Cool.
All right.
Thank you, man.
Well,
hey guys, take care.
Take care. And thanks for listening to everyone, and thanks for all members participating in the Satoshi Radio Rings of Fire. And of course, thanks to everyone helping to connect the world with us, like Steph and Phil also. If you want to support us in our mission, then you can donate using the bot in our Telegram group. And don't forget to like and share our content on your favorite platform, what it is. You can choose yourself. Keep those notes running and sats flowing and rings burning. So see you all next week on the same Lightning channel. Hasta luego, Phil.
Ciao, Phil.
Hey, ciao.
Bye-bye.